You know it's a wild day in women's basketball when a Hall of Famer walks into someone's podcast and drops more truth than a finals post-game presser. Lisa Leslie didn't just defend Caitlin Clark recently. She delivered a masterclass in poise, perspective, and yes, humbling Angel Reese on her own show. Thousands were listening, and Reese had a front row seat to what can only be described as the most graceful clapback in podcast history, while the internet has been melting down over the Clark versus Reese saga, with fans turning it into a Marvel-level rivalry. Lisa Leslie showed up playing an entirely different game. She didn't pick a side, she elevated the conversation. One day she's praising Clark's impact on the league. The next, she's offering Reese the kind of mentorship you don't get in practice. It wasn't about beef, it was about growth. And let's be honest, someone had to say it, but she literally got called out for missing layups. I mean, on her own damn show. Let's rewind a bit. For months now, it's felt like Caitlin Clark couldn't breathe without some WNBA vet throwing a passive-aggressive quote or side-eye her way. From jealousy-drenched tweets to full-on body checks on the court, it's been clear. Some people in the league were not rolling out the welcome mat. So when Lisa Leslie, one of the founding queens of the WNBA, stepped up and said, "Actually, Caitlin's doing everything right," that hit like a game winner at the buzzer. This wasn't just another opinion from the peanut gallery. This was Lisa Leslie, the woman who practically built the WNBA's foundation, who dunked before it was trendy, and who knows exactly what it takes to carry a league. So when she says Caitlin Clark is the real deal, people listen. We have to understand that when one player eats, we all eat, and as we all get more opportunities, it just opens it up for everyone else. And I think Caitlin has said that even herself in certain interviews, and I love that. I love that she's not the player who's like, it's all about her. It's not. She's giving love and homage to those of us that have come before her. She shares a wealth with her teammates, and she doesn't have to do that. So I just don't, again, I don't know what the big deal is about the fact that Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves that, and she's helped change this game. And Lisa didn't just say Clark is good. She praised the how, not just the stats. She pointed out Clark's humility, her willingness to uplift the legends who came before her. In a league where some players act like they invented the crossover, Clark's respect for the game's history stood out. Lisa highlighted that loudly. She said, in so many words, "Are y'all even paying attention?" Because while some are busy complaining about camera time, Caitlin is out here giving flowers to the pioneers. Listen, she's a competitor. She's a trash talker. She makes players around her better. She's exciting to watch, and quite frankly, I've missed seeing her. Being at Unrivaled, she was there. I've missed seeing her play, so I really look forward to seeing her back out there. But as I do all of the WNBA players, we are really watching a very exciting level of basketball. But let's talk about the real moment, the pivot that made jaws drop. Leslie didn't just defend Clark from the sidelines. She took it to Reese herself. Sitting down with Angel Reese on her podcast, in a setting where Angel had full control of the mic and the edit button, Lisa Leslie went full truth-teller mode. And what did she do? She looked Reese dead in the eye and called out her biggest weakness: those bricked layups. Let's pause and appreciate the situation. You invite a legend onto your show. You expect some legacy talk, maybe a few laughs, a girl power vibe. Instead, you get your finishing issues aired out like laundry in front of thousands of listeners. It wasn't cruel, it wasn't petty, it was real. And honestly, it was the kind of honest coaching moment Reese might not get anywhere else. Hoops game, where she literally needs to put up 300 shots a day. And I'm not kidding. 200 or 300 shots a day, and that's missed layups. She's 6'3" or 6'4", can't hit a layup to save her life, and literal videos have went mega viral of just her missing layups in games. Lisa didn't drag Reese, she taught her. And that's what makes her such a force. She didn't embarrass Angel. She elevated her by telling the truth, the same way a Hall of Famer would pull a struggling rookie aside and say, "You've got the tools, but your fundamentals need work." If Angel's smart, she'll take it as a gift. What Lisa understands, better than maybe anyone in the league, is that everyone wins when the stars rise. And Caitlin Clark, she's not just rising, she's skyrocketing. Leslie reminded everyone that Clark's visibility isn't a threat to veterans. It's a rising tide. More eyeballs on the league means more money, more coverage, more seats filled. And more importantly, it means a future where newcomers and veterans both get paid what they deserve. Leslie even tackled the drama around Clark's TV time. While players like Reese and others complain about how many national games Clark's team gets, Leslie broke it down like a professor. "When one of us eats, we all eat," she said. "In other words, you're mad about TV slots. You should be thanking her for the audience boost. I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlin Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect. Call it the Caitlin Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlin Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games? Remember when some players and even ESPN discredited Caitlin Clark's college success at Iowa just because she didn't win a national championship? Then came the line that sealed it all. Lisa said Clark deserves this. All of it. The attention, the endorsements, the hype, because she's changing the game. Coming from someone who literally changed the game herself, that's not hype. It's a coronation. Hey, listen, Caitlin, I am so thankful for her. I'm thankful for all of these women and where this game is, and we have to step back and see the big picture and how it's impacting all of us. So what did we witness? Not just a defense of Caitlin Clark, not just a critique of Angel Reese, but a moment where one of the game's all-time greats reminded everyone how leadership actually works. You lift, you correct, and most importantly, you tell the truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even if it's on someone else's mic. Because at the end of the day, Lisa Leslie isn't here to play favorites. She's here to make the game better. And Caitlin Clark? She's proving every day that she's more than just a media sensation. She's the future Lisa Leslie has been waiting for. And Lisa Leslie is completely on the money here. And that shows the problem when it comes to a lot of the old WNBA is that they just can't. They just can't not even wrap their head around. They can't just accept, okay, this person is more popular than me. You'd think a player would dream of basking in nothing but praise from a Hall of Famer. But instead of a standing ovation, Angel Reese got something far more valuable. A reality check from Lisa Leslie. And not just any critique, but a straight-up masterclass on layups. Yes, layups. One of the first skills you learn in youth basketball. For someone who brands herself the Bayou Barbie, Reese might need to add layup lab rat to her Instagram bio. Lisa didn't hold back. On Angel's podcast, no less. She went right for it, in the nicest, most big sisterly way possible, highlighting the elephant in the paint. Angel Reese's finishing struggles at the rim. And this wasn't some advanced analytics breakdown. It was a WNBA legend gently pointing out that if you're going to be the face of a franchise, you probably shouldn't be missing bunnies under the basket. Now here's where it gets interesting. Angel had complete control of that podcast. She could have edited out the awkward parts, tossed the critique in the trash, and served up the classic all love queen version for her fans. But she didn't. She let it ride. That in itself was a plot twist. Maybe Angel knew this wasn't shade, it was sunlight. Because Lisa Leslie wasn't trying to embarrass her. The moment wasn't one-sided either. Leslie didn't come to roast Reese, she came to guide her. She praised Angel's ball handling improvement and gave props to her developing defensive game. It wasn't a takedown. It was a balanced performance review from the GOAT of constructive criticism. Only someone who genuinely cares would risk a little discomfort in the name of growth. But then came the deeper layer. Leslie suggesting that Reese's layup woes might not just be a mechanics issue, but something psychological. The dreaded athlete's curse. The yips. For the uninitiated, the yips are like your muscle memory hitting a brick wall. One day you're automatic, the next you're clanking open layups like you've never touched a basketball. Lisa raised the question gently, but seriously, and it cracked open a bigger conversation about the mental side of the game that no one, especially not newcomers, wants to admit they're struggling with. And that's what separates Leslie from your average analyst. She doesn't just break down tape, she breaks down barriers. She knows that mentorship isn't about gassing someone up or going easy on them. It's about telling the truth, even when it stings. That kind of honesty, it's rare, and it's what legends do. But here's the twist that no one saw coming. Angel Reese didn't flinch. She didn't rage quit the interview or clap back with a TikTok. Instead, she let the critique breathe. She kept it in the episode, let it go public, and in doing so, showed a side of herself we haven't seen often. Being humbled. In a league where image is everything, Reese showed vulnerability. And fans, they noticed. Still, there's something bigger at play here. Lisa Leslie isn't just giving out tough love at random. She's drawing up a blueprint for what leadership in the WNBA should look like. She's showing how we elevate the league, not by fanning petty rivalries, but by creating accountability. She supports Clark because she recognizes generational greatness. She critiques Reese because she sees untapped potential. This isn't favoritism, it's framework. And yet, social media still can't figure out whose side Lisa is on. That's the thing. Leslie isn't playing favorites. She's playing the long game. She's trying to build something bigger than viral moments and petty feuds. She's building a league where young players grow, stars shine, and everyone levels up. Because at the end of the day, Lisa Leslie doesn't need to pick a side. What we're witnessing with Lisa Leslie right now isn't just a masterclass in leadership, it's a blueprint for the future of women's basketball. While the rest of the league debates airtime and endorsement money, Leslie is busy drawing up a long-term strategy for the WNBA's success. Her approach: celebrate the stars that bring in fans while demanding accountability from everyone who wants to rise with them. It's not favoritism, it's functional leadership. It's all about money, Mark, and we cannot deny what Caitlin has done for women's games. Said Leslie, 2-time champion, 3-time MVP. Why would we feel some type of way that she has more television games? But I don't know what the big deal is, or the fact Caitlin is getting a lot of love. She deserves it. She's helped change the game. Let's unpack it. When Lisa publicly backs Caitlin Clark, she's not just complimenting a star. She's acknowledging a basic business truth. You can't grow a league without growing the audience. And Clark is doing exactly that. Viewership numbers don't lie. States like Iowa, which never ranked high on WNBA metrics, are suddenly top-tier markets even when Clark's not playing. Her fan base isn't just tuning in for her. They're getting invested in the entire league. But Leslie isn't just about metrics and market share. Her vision runs deeper. When she turns around and gives Angel Reese a tough love tutorial on layups, she's doing the work others won't. That moment wasn't an attack. It was an invitation. An invitation to level up, to fine-tune, to build a legacy not on hype, but on skill and impact. Leslie didn't just tell Reese what she's lacking. She outlined a path for her to become great, and that path, it might not look like Clark's. That's the genius of Leslie's mentorship. She suggested Reese lean into what makes her unique: rebounding, defense, energy. She referenced players like Dennis Rodman and Joakim Noah, NBA legends who didn't fill up scoring sheets but built championship legacies by dominating their roles. Leslie's message was clear: you don't have to be the leading scorer to be a star, be a force. Some players crash in the transition from college to the pros because they try to copy someone else's blueprint. Leslie's urging Reese and the rest of the league to find their own. The players who survive and thrive in this league are the ones who adapt, lean into their strengths, and elevate their teammates along the way. This is straightforward. And let's be real. Every single person knows this. They know this. It's not like they are these people that are complaining about this don't know exactly what Lisa Leslie said. They're just scared to say it. But perhaps the most revolutionary part of Leslie's approach is how she blends business and basketball without compromising either. She's not choosing between selling jerseys and improving fundamentals. She's doing both. And she's proving that the WNBA needs both. You want fans in the seats? Build stars. You want championships? Build better players. Do both, and you build a league that lasts. Right now, the WNBA is at a crossroads. The temptation is to either glamorize the stars or protect the vets. But Lisa Leslie is doing neither. She's showing that real growth happens when the league embraces tough conversations and celebrates the ones who move the needle. Raise the bar. widen the spotlight, and that's the brilliance of Lisa's game plan. She's not putting Clark on a pedestal and tossing Reese to the side. She's making space for both, and everyone else. Because when one player breaks through, it opens the door for others to follow. And when Reese reaches her full potential, it'll be thanks to moments like this, where honesty beats ego and mentorship wins. So now the question becomes, who's following Lisa's lead? Will the other WNBA vets step up to build, mentor, and lead? Or will they keep mistaking stardom for competition and mentorship for criticism? Because one thing's clear, Lisa Leslie isn't here to play favorites. She's here to build a future. One where Caitlin Clark's stardom fuels growth, and her light can shine on everyone as long as they put in the work.